We are live, good people. Welcome to the Speaking for Profit podcast. We are talking about government contracts today, securing the bag with my friend Sunnie Jones, the one who over here making all the money in the background, doing all the amazing things. And just really, Sunnie, the reason I wanted to speak to you, I want to just give you your flowers up front. I remember about a year ago getting on a call with you and you giving me just like so much game about government contracts for just because I'm black and queer in here. Like you were like, no, you can do this. And I think that what you're doing for our community in a particular way is just so inspiring. So I just want to thank you for not only being willing to share it, but being willing to share your life. Because we don't have to do that, right? Like us being public and having personal brands, like that's not a requirement. So I just want to give you your flowers for being a leader in this work. Like I think 10 years from now, when we look at queer folks who are creating government contracts or who are involved with that, we will see you connected to it. So thank you, fam.
I hope so. No, but thank you. I appreciate it.
We got to be the possibility models, right? Like it's so interesting. I think about YouTube videos that I watched today that are from a couple of years ago that have really inspired me as an entrepreneur. So we can't think it's tears in a bucket. Somebody's
Right.
gonna find this and apply it. Everybody ain't gonna do it. We know that. There's always there's the 2%, right? 2% get shit
Mm-hmm.
done. And the rest of us kind of like ponder most of our lives. But I hope they find it and get something done. So do me a favor. If you're watching right now, y'all, whether you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you're watching, just put into the chat where you're watching from. We always want to know where folks are connected. And then Sunnie, I would love to hear from you. One, tell us a little bit about you as a businessman. Like what does your company do? And then what's one thing that's bringing you joy right now?
All right. So my company, Take It Further Technologies, also known as TIFT, as you can see here on the shirt on the logo, we are a contracting IT company. I don't like to say government contracting anymore because we have entered the commercial space. But primarily, our bread and butter are contracts, software development, IT, cybersecurity, help desk, and we just opened a new pillar side of our business that is focused on the hardware side, so networking, cable running, access control. We do a little bit of everything and under the wheelhouse of IT.
Okay,
Um,
that's dope. And congrats on that new pillar. What made you want to add that into the flow of the business?
it was I'm trying to figure out how to say it, but it was like a given blessing.
Mm,
My mentor, his business, 3D Tech, focuses on the hardware side of IT. And we've grown a business ship that has allowed TIFF to open that side. So without him, without 3D, we wouldn't be able to do it.
okay, bad. And what's bringing you joy?
What's bringing me joy? All right, outside of my wife, got to plug the wifey in there.
Yeah.
Outside of her, definitely golf right now. Golf is definitely bringing me joy. Um, and then also, I know we're going to talk about it, but my social media app that I'm working on.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I was talking to K. Kenneth Davis on Sunday, the trans capitalist. I'll go follow him if you haven't yet. And
Yes.
he was trying to convince me about this golf thing y'all got going, and I was telling him, I went to Top Golf and I suck, man. I don't like sucking at things. Like I am very, I grew up playing basketball, I played softball, I even did soccer. I didn't do track because I wasn't good at it. I don't see myself doing, and then I'll be saying even LeBron James is struggling with golf. Like, and he's
But
good
he
at
out there. He out there.
he good at everything. He can salsa and he out. So I don't know. Y'all gonna have to convince me. But I seeing more black queer people do it. It does make me want to try it. But it's just funny to see folks making it happen. And people say it like teaches you a lot about yourself. Would you say that? Like golf, it's not really about you competing with anyone but yourself when you're out there.
Yeah. Golf is like one of those sports where it doesn't matter how athletic you are. Like it's athleticism is not a thing. It's really pure skill. It's like chess. It's the chess sport. It's pure skill and understanding and having the fundamentals of it. I don't have it. Like I'm still working on it. There'll be the good days where I'm hitting well, then there'll be the days where like my ball probably broke somebody's window on the golf course, right? So I think you should get out there though with us. You should definitely come. We're trying to plan something together, so we'll let you know. And yeah, it'll be a great time. It'll be a great time.
Okay, bet, definitely. So you got this amazing company where you are doing all things technology. But when I first met you, it was through folks talking about you securing government contracts. So we like to teach like we are talking to second graders, right? Like we want to keep it as simple as possible. And I say that because you're a techie, and sometimes y'all tech folks, y'all use all these acronyms, and I'd be like, I don't know where we went with this, right? So, but
I got you.
one, like, what is a government contract? Like, I think that sometimes people don't understand that. And my understanding for it is like it could be local, it could also be federal, can it be international? So can you just break down to us like what is a government contract?
Yeah. So, what is a government contract? Right. So, usually when I talk to people about government contracting who doesn't know anything about it, their first thought is IT related things, and I think it's bigger than that. It's bigger than just the IT world. Government contracting really is the government in all levels, right? The local, the county, the state, the federal level have all of these, not even jobs, but things, jobs, um, responsibilities that they need to procure that they can't procure on their own. So they go out and find businesses to handle that service or buy that product, or or handle the event, or find the the rental space, or find the building. It's literally any industry you can think of, which is crazy because one time I saw they were buying wigs, but literally any industry you
The
can think
government
of,
was buying wigs?
because they put them in the commissary.
Oh, makes sense.
So literally any industry you can think of, the government goes out on all levels and have to purchase it. And there's always a requirement of what they have to procure outside as a contract.
Okay. Okay. So it could be so many different industries. I know we were talking about one recently that you got that was connected to like drones, and I was like, I got a drone. You were like, you got a portfolio. I said, fam, I just flew it off my stairs. I don't really have a lot of experience yet. That's something I do want to learn more about. Like I've heard you can, pick up some construction contracts and, side gigs
Mm-hmm.
that you can do. That's really cool. And it's just dope to know how to make content from it. But any industry, folks can probably find a government contract under their business. So the government has money, they need to procure it. We turn an application, we make it happen. Take us through the step of like, one, where do we find these? Like, is it a site? Is it just it's probably just pop up in your email now because you're the government contractor now.
Listen. Now I still go out every day and search on all of these sites. There's a lot of sites you can find things on. Um, so I'm going to start before I go on the business side. I think some people don't know that for my IT folks in the room, you can be a government contractor but not own a business as a sole proprietor, as a 1099er. Um, you can go on USAA jobs, clearance jobs. You can go on all of these sites and become a 1099 contractor for the government based off a specific job that they're trying to fill. If you do not want to go the full business route, I just want to throw that out there, that there's a possibility.
Okay, so
But
you don't have to have the LLC for those type of opportunities. Okay.
you'll be qualified as a sole proprietor. For the LLCs, okay. So I'm gonna break it down a little bit. So stop me if you need to stop me. You have a question. All right. So of course you have to have some type of LLC, S corp, C corp entity. With that, people usually start on sam.gov, because that is for the federal level, but every state has their own procurement site. So for the folks that's in the chat, in Maryland, our site is emma.gov. And then it gets as little as your local and county governments have their own procurement sites. So I'm in Anne Arundel County. I grew up in PG County. They each have their own site. It usually does filter through the state site, but sometimes the contracts don't. So you can go look on their procurement site, as small as like Upper Marlboro, Maryland. They have their own procurement site, and that is a smaller county inside of PG County. That's inside of Maryland. But SAM, which is the federal government, anywhere in the U.S. or anywhere outside of the U.S. where the U.S. has some type of place of residence, if it's military, if it's government, all of those contracts filter through SAM or the GSA schedule. Okay. Small companies like myself who are not on the GSA schedule, we focus on SAM, because getting on the GSA schedule, you usually have to be like 2 years in business, making a certain amount of revenue each year. So it's a little challenge. It's challenging to get on the GSA schedule. So we focus on SAM. To bid on SAMs, you have to have a UEI number and a cage code. And to get that, you would essentially just sign up for SAM with your business. Your address does have to be a physical location. They won't accept PO boxes. And your email, I believe now with their new update, does have to be at whatever your business name.com. You can no longer do like at gmail.com or at Yahoo. Is that still a thing? .com.
Yeah, some people still use. I only use Yahoo because I'm in a basketball fantasy group, and we have to use Yahoo for that. That I didn't need to share that, but that's what I know it for now. So wait, before you go forward, we sign up, we get these numbers. We need to have an email, a legitimate business. Does to sign up for that number? Do we need the LLC, or are we cool with the sole proprietor?
Sole proprietor is good, but I just as a business person, I prefer if people had LLCs.
Okay. And
especially.
No, sorry. Go on.
No, I was going to say, especially if you are going to be subbing it out or have employees.
Okay.
I'm going to have to hire for it.
Okay. So if I have a business that is a wig business, like you said, does that matter? Or can I use that business, or should I create an LLC that's for me procuring my government contracts?
Now, right, that's up to the business owner themselves. If your wig business, fully LLC in good standing, all of that and everything of that good nature, perfectly fine. But if the wig business tries to go bid on an IT contract and their name is Sarah Hayers, procurement officer probably is not going to, award you that contract. So I usually tell people when they're like, I want to start doing government contract, and I say, find a name that is a generic name. Like Take It Further Technologies can kind of go under anything. I could bid if I wanted to on security, like unarmed security contracts. I could bid on construction contracts. I could bid on a lot because the name is so fluent.
Okay. Bet. Okay, keep going. So we turn it in. We get these. What's the number? What's the name of the? Okay, you gave us some acronyms. What are the?
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, I don't know what UEI stand for. Okay. Oh, yes, I do. Unique something identifier. So that's how the government identifies your business through SAMs. So for you to have that, and then your cage code as well. So those two codes allows the business to identify your business when you bid on contracts. So they can always go back and look up your UEI to see past contracts you worked on. Did the procurement officer say you did a good job? Did you do a bad job? What were the comments? That's how they grade you.
It's like your government contract, Social Security.
Yeah. Yep. That's what it is. Yes, what it is. And so after you go through the application process of signing up on SAMs, you also need to know your NAICS codes, your NAIC codes, and that's essentially telling the government what services you provide, right? So my NAIC codes, of course, deals with IT, so it's Don't quote me, but at 5415 54151. Don't quote me.
Like that. Okay.
Somebody fact check me. But you can essentially just Google and say, I do a call center. What are the call center NAIC codes? And you put those in your profile on SAMS. It's because procurement officers usually go and check it when they are reviewing bids to award. So if you're going to bid on something, make sure the NAIC code that the procurement officer has on the contract matches what's on your profile. And at any time, you can always go in and update your NAIC codes, and you can have as many as you want.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was about to say, I don't want to, I might want to apply for the wigs, and then I might want to apply for something else. I don't want to just be the wig person.
Right.
I'm still stuck on these wigs. It's just hilarious to me that somebody secured the bag doing that. I love that.
Hey, listen, if I would have saw it. Now, can I present? Because if I can present, I can walk through.
I don't know. Let's see if you can. Do you see something that says you can?
Yeah, it says present.
If it lets you do it, then do it. Let's go for it.
All right, it says share screen, so we're gonna share.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep, so. I added it to the stage now.
Okay, awesome. So we're just gonna go over SAM because I'm not sure. I'm sure people are from every state. If you ever are curious of what your state procurement site is, just type your state in. So for me, it'll be Maryland procurement, and your procurement site should pop up. The other site that I like to use is called BidNet, BIDNET. That site deals with procurement on the state, local, and also does universities and colleges and schools. So that's a site that I don't think a lot of people plug in because it is a really good site. That site does cost money though. So I would say get your feet wet a little bit with SAM because it's free, and then transfer over to BidNet to find some more business.
Okay, dope. I love this as well because you're giving us the sites. So we get our codes. Once, how long does it take to get the codes? And then do they like inform you that you got them, or you just sign up that day and you got it?
It depends. I'm not sure what the wait time is right now, but I would say anywhere between maybe 3 to 4 weeks wait time period. You'll get a first email from DLA Cage. They will give you your cage number. If they have questions or need you to verify something, they'll send you an email asking you to verify anything that they need. Once you're verified with your cage code, then you'll get a response from SAM saying, okay, here's your UEI, and now you can bid on contracts.
Okay. So what does it mean to bid? Like, what does that process look like?
All right, perfect. So before you can bid, you have to find the contracts, right? So when it comes to SAM, you do not have to sign in technically to bid on contracts because majority of the submissions are via email. So I rarely sign in unless I need to update something in my profile. So you'll go into search, and their site is new now, so it looks a little bit different. You'll go into contracting, and the type of contracts that we want, because we want the ones with the money right now, solicitation and combined synopsis, right? So special notice, sources sought, pre-solicitation, all of those things are before the actual money has been in place. That's sources sought is the government's asking basically you as the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the as the expert in your industry. We need to do this. We need to buy this. How should we do it? They're not giving you any money for it. None at all. They're just asking you for it so they know how to price it. Right. And then, of course, award notice is for the companies that have been awarded contracts. And then justifications are those who didn't like who was awarded and tried to give a little pushback. So I do that. And off the rip, just doing solicitation and combined synopsis. You can see we're almost about 20K contracts that are active and out that have not passed the due date. It's 20. 20K, right? So with everything happening in the world, the government shut down right now, 20K contracts are still out there that the government's buying.
Is that money separate from the money from the shutdown? Is that why? Or
I don't know. But what I do know is usually the money is already in place for these contracts. 85% of the time, the procurement officer will put somewhere, hey, this contract is contingent upon funding if the funding's not there. So all of these contracts out, unless it says that, we can assume that the funding was there before the shutdown. Also, a lot of times when I look at contracts, I try to look at mission critical type contracts or contracts that are critical, like DoD, where we know if we win this type of contract, we have a more stability possibility keeping the job because it's with a agency that might not close fully during something like this, during a shutdown.
Okay, and DoD is Department of Defense, right?
Yes, Department of
Look at
Defense.
me, I'm tracking.
Yes.
Okay, so we go there, we get the app, and okay, so I have a cousin who was doing this, and he got a contract. It was actually for a nice amount, and it was to do porta potties, right? Set up porta potties for an event, and he was telling me that he had to put the application in, but it was like it was very simple. The language was very simple. It's a certain amount of characters. So, any advice on like the application side of it that you would want to share?
Yeah. So let's go into one. See if we can find a good one really quickly. Let's just do this one. Operations in. All right. So when you find a contract that you want to bid on, you'll click into it. Right. You'll have the notice ID of the contract. You'll have when the contract is due, the time, when it was published. The new update tells you the different versions. So if the procurement officer updates something on the site, you can now find the most recent version, which sometimes usually changes when the date is due, or they might delete some type of links or attachments. It all depends on the procurement officer, right? So if I was to bid on this contract, one, it's a total small business set aside, which is good because in SAM, when you're going through your application, when you sign up, you can self-certify as a small business. Now, if you are a business and you have your women-owned set aside or your minority-owned set aside or your veterans, you can put all of that in your profile and the procurement officer can see. But for total small business set-asides, you can self-certify on SAMs. You can have no other contracts anywhere else. Not contracts, certifications anywhere else and still self-certify as a small business.
Okay.
So there's 3 things you want to look for when you are on sam.gov. First, of course, the point of contact, the POC. That is most important because when you have a question or if you submit a bid and weeks go by, you don't hear anything, you want to know who to reach out to. The second thing, I'm going to find a different one while we're talking, is the scope of work. The scope of work tells you what needs to be done on the contract and then the instructions to offer. And this is how the government tells you what they're looking for in your proposal that you are going to submit. Any questions?
So we got the scope of work. We're understanding who our point of contact is. Do they have like a template that you submit, or do you just kind of submit something in Word,
So it depends. And the hard thing about government contracting is every scenario is different because every procurement officer wants different things. That's why the instructions to offer is very important to find, because the procurement officer will tell you in the instructions to offer, like, hey, I want 12-point font times new known numerals, and I want every page number. And then you're going to get another procurement officer that's going to be like, just send me the number. So it's really going to depend on that procurement officer. So for this one, I can see this is for snow removal. They gave us the pricing sheet. So usually I would screenshot this, save it, fill in the pricing sheet here. If we find the performance work statement, also known as the scope, this tells us everything and all the services that is needed for this project here.
Okay.
And usually it's like this, goes into a great detail.
Yeah, they give you all the tea, definitely.
All of it. And this one goes into as much detail as telling you how many. So we got how many items, the roads, the quantity. So this road is 1.2 miles. This parking lot is 5 acres. So you can price it correctly.
Okay. So when you get this information, you're going to submit your app. There's a lot of folks that are submitting them at the same time. Do you look at, because I know one thing that's unique about the work that you do, Sunnie, like you don't go just after like tech, right? Like you go after tech, but it's a broad amount of tech. When you're thinking about the pricing, are you thinking about the folks you're going to hire and delegate as well? Is that a part of the cost that you're coming up with?
Now.
Yeah.
So at first, right, so excited, I was winning, and I was just throwing numbers out there. Luckily, the number I threw out there just covered me, right?
Yeah.
But now, yes, like I am when I look at contracts, I'm very precise on the number games, to the point where I'm like, all right, if person A doesn't work out, I might need to put a little bit more if I have to hire for person B and they overlap or something might happen. So pricing is very important. Pricing, your technical, and your past performance are the most 3 important things when you're submitting a bid, a proposal. So if we talk about what submitting looks like, your technical is essentially an essay telling the government why you are the best person or the best company to do the job. Some technicals, and it depends again on the procurement officer, can be very detailed to the point where they'll want a contingency plan, where they'll want to understand your quality assurance to make sure things get done. Well, they'll want your what ifs to the point where they'll want your resumes of who's doing the job. The pricing, I don't think anyone's ever going to master pricing. I will say when it comes to pricing, if the contract you're bidding on is a lowest price wins, that means if you come in at 500 and I come in at 499.50, I'm going to win, even if your technical is better than mine, because it's lowest price wins.
Do you know that when you're submitting? Like, do they put that on the proposal?
Yeah, they will put it in the proposal. They will put lowest price on the proposal.
Do they ever put the budget in the proposal for you? Like, what's the roundabout? No, of course not.
The good thing is usually there's a question period and people will ask, what's the budget or who's the incumbent? When they ask these things and they say, okay, we won't tell you the budget, but ABC LLC is the incumbent. They're the one who's been doing the work for the past 4 years. You can go on usaspending.com, look up that company and see what they quoted to win the last contract. So you can kind of gauge how much it costs 4 years ago, every year after till the current year. But things are going to always change because we have inflation and this new tax and all these other things that's going on. Well, you'll know 4 years ago up to now, it started at $500, and every year after they just added a $50 inflation fee. So I know I need to be around the $600 mark.
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Yeah, if y'all picking up what Sunny is putting down, and this is great knowledge, just make sure you put the word love into the chat. If you got questions, please start putting them into the chat. We will get through as many as possible. I see stuff is already coming through, and we got some folks who we actually had Janelle Rocky, my cousin, on here a couple of weeks ago because she secured $1 million contract through a school district. So she was on here kind of
oh,
right, talking about some of the strategies behind that. So she's putting a lot of love in the chat as well. But yeah, folks are really picking it up and loving it, Sunny. So thank you so much for providing the information. So before we get into questions, when when people submit these contracts, you mentioned that they look at the history of the contracts that you've done before. So, do you have any strategies around winning early, right? Like, because I think getting some quick wins to me, it sounds like would be a strategy so that you kind of build your profile up, right? Do some good work, and then you can bid for more. Is that a
yeah.
strategy that you use, kind of?
Yeah. So for me, even now, right, my business is 2 year old, 2 years old. I focus a lot on total small business contracts. Um, One, you're bidding against fewer businesses, still a lot, but fewer business than just the contracts that does not have a set aside. If you are a veteran, um, own company, your pool is a lot smaller. If you are Indian set aside company, your pool is a lot women owned. So it's really good to also partner with other companies because some people have certifications where the pool is smaller to help your chances of winning. The other thing is how your past performance is written, which I'm learning, still learning. And I've just recently received a lot of good gems from a fellow procurement officer friend of mine, because one thing for me is being a 2 year old company, I don't have a lot of past performance per se on contracts as like the Deloittes and the Booz Allens, right? But me as an individual, some of my software engineers, my technicians as individuals have a lot of past performance on just jobs that they've worked on, and skills that they have. So I write to, of course, the work we have done as a company, but then also in my past performance, I write to what I can do as an individual and what my team can do as individuals, because that always I've seen helped. I have procurement office say, yeah, your past performance was really good as a 2 year company, but when you started to really talk about the actual people that will be working on this project and what they've done and where they've done their work, that really threw it over the edge because they felt it was like a personable thing. So if you're working with a subcontractor, you'll want to know, 2 to 3 past projects that subcontractor have worked on, because you can assume the past performance of your subs or of your employees when you're bidding on these contracts as a prime.
Okay. Okay. Dope. Dope. Um, I'm wondering, Sonny, like for you, when you think about speakers and consultants in particular, what strategies would you give them around securing contracts?
Um, I would say focus on contracts that deal with events and trainings. There are a lot of event and training contracts out there. Um, and it's usually trainings on everything, like PM trainings, Power BI trainings just like marriage counsel. I still want for like a marriage counseling. Consultants can put on, small little retreats. I just saw something today out in California. Base is looking for a marriage retreat 3 times a year, and all that consultant would need to do essentially, right, is find a space. If you want to be nice and find catering and drinks and do all the extra, but also make yourself the main speaker, you would basically quote the government all of that. So they pay for the space, they pay for the food, and they pay your fee.
I love that. And you get to, do a little speakers reel, be real cute, put on your good clothes, document the process, and you can add the government to it as well. I love that. That's really dope.
Mhm.
Marriage counseling as well. Okay, so go after events, go after consulting contracts, and we can find those on the sites that you mentioned, right? They're on the
Yep,
SAM site and all that as well.
they're all Sam.
Okay, bet. let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about the seasons, right? Because one thing I know about you, Sunny, is like I remember one time I hit you up and you were like, "Man, I'm deep in it right now. Like this deadlines are coming up." So is this a seasonal thing? Are we applying this stuff year round? Is there a particular season where it's more busy? Is it industry based? Like how does that work?
It's industry based. So I know for me in IT, the summer times for whatever reason are when I see majority of the IT contracts. Starting around March, they really start dropping the web development and the app development, and we need those type of contracts. Um, so my summertime is my grind time. I'm submitting majority of my contracts at that time. However, quarter four, which we're in now, is also a busy time because the money that the government has that they accounted for, they have to spend it. So procurement officers are, yes, here, take this money, take this contract, take do that in quarter four.
Why do they have to spend it? What do you mean by that?
The money that they set aside and that each agency sets aside for the year has to be gone by the end of the year.
Oh, so Q4 is like go time. So that's how it was when I was in higher education, right? Like we would get a budget for the year for the LGBT center, and it was like we would get like let's say 50,000. It was more than that. Often 200, 300,000 for the year. We would have to spend it all because it would like almost go back to 300,000. You couldn't take 100,000 from the year before, which got on
Right.
my nerves sometimes because sometimes it's like you could just give me that little bit of money extra. We could do a little bit more, but I
They
get
say
it.
spend it or lose it, spend it
Yeah,
or lose it.
spend it or lose it. And then it's also proof of concept, right? Like, because if you don't spend it all, they're going to be like later on when they're looking at budgets, do you really need that much money? Right. So you
Exactly.
want to also show the spending. Okay. So Q4 for you is summertime. For different industries, it might be different times for people to do it.
Yes.
What is this a volume game? Like I know with public speaking and with consulting, we're sending out like hundreds of code emails sometimes a month. Is
Mhm.
this more like simpler where you're just trying to get quality over quantity, or would you say, is it a mixed bag?
I think it depends on the person, right? In the beginning, in the beginning for everybody, it is a numbers game because you want to win that first one. So you're going to be cranking out 20 contracts a week. But once you grasp a technical blueprint that fits you, fits your company, you're not playing that number games anymore, right? I'll bid on now maybe five on a good week contracts a week. But before, yeah, I was bidding on everything. Now I have a strategic plan and I have a plan on how I want to bid and what I'm looking for. I'm not bidding on everything, but in the beginning for sure, because you want to win that first one. You win that first one, it feels good. And I think when people create a plan after that feel good momentum is done and you're like, okay, I can sustain off of this, I can do this as a living, let me make a plan. And that's where usually people kind of go away from bidding on everything and going down one industry focus.
Okay, definitely. Because you can kind of do a variety at first, right? Kind of figure out what you're really good at, what's easy for you to deliver, right? Because you got to deliver these contracts too. A lot of people just be thinking about securing the money. It's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
y'all got to actually do the work that you signed up
Mm-hmm.
for, especially if you want to keep a good reputation and get more of those as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about you personally, right? Like what's some dope contracts that you have? Like, one, what's maybe a couple that you didn't win, but you learned a lot from?
Okay. Yeah, so dope project that I won. I guess one of my first IT contracts. Of course, one of your first is going to be like the dopest, but I still have that contract. It's still going and running. It's with the Coast Guard base out in Alaska, and we're handling their MWR stuff, and it's dope. The team over there is amazing. Um, it's my first baby, right? So I
And you
really,
still have that contract to this day.
yeah, I still have that
Wow.
contract to
So
this
it's
day.
like a multi-year contract or
Yep, multi-year. I think I have 2 more years on it. Um, but I have learned a lot, and that team over there has been very patient with me, being one of the first, and they knew that. They were like, "Hey, like we're gonna be patient. We're gonna grow with you." And I enjoy that because I've heard horror stories of small businesses who've won a big, like this, it was a pretty big contract for a small business, a small person, right? And I've heard horror stories where it went left, and they have honestly kept me afloat. So I have to shout them out for real. A contract, one contract right now that is with the Library of Congress. I'm waiting to hear back from. That would be another one I'll have to say is a good one, because this contract had to go through phases, and we're in the last phase. So I'm hopefully find out soon if I won that one. That would be a life-changing contract. Let's just say that for sure. And then one that I didn't win for Library of Congress a couple years ago. They needed a app created, and it was a big contract. And I should have partnered with other businesses, but old Sunnie didn't really understand, like, hey, partnering with businesses is not a bad thing. But I didn't. And being small, of course, they're like, you can't handle all this as a small business. But you win some, you lose some. And I think it helped me prepare, because it's the same procurement officer and everything, helped me prepare for this one that's out there right now.
Yep, exactly. A delay isn't a denial, right? Like you learn from it and you're able to kind of like move forward with something new. Those are dope. Those are really cool. Like you got some in Alaska, something with the library, which is really cool, might be coming up. So one more question and then I'll open it up to the group, because you probably could see the chat. The chat blowing up. People got
I know, I've been trying to look over.
People got plenty of things they want to ask you. So I want us to make sure to get to that. When you're looking at, because I know some people might be on here and they're like, you know what, Sunnie, I want to work with you. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be one of your subcontractors, right? Like when you're looking at companies that you bring on to collaborate with, what are three like things that you look at, and maybe what are one or two like red flags where you like, nah,
fam? That's a great question. Communication, transparency, and accountability are what I look for. And those also are like some of my core values from my company. Very important to me. Communication. You have to be able to communicate on all accords. An email, a phone call, text. You got to be able to communicate back and forth, because these money, don't mess with the money. Don't mess with the money. Transparency and accountability. Being able to be honest and also take responsibility on things, good and bad. Because I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be straight up and be honest with you. And if I mess up, I'm gonna be accountable. And if I do good, I'm gonna be accountable. So that's what I look for. Red flags. The truth always comes out. The truth always comes out. So yeah, when I am learning to go with my gut, I'm learning to go with my gut, and picking up the vibe from people. And then I don't know if this is a red flag, but it's a red flag for me because I haven't had any green flags with it yet. But when people overly do it, so like I'll go to networking events and then it'll have the person that has like the pen and the this and the then that. She said, I'm a red flag in general. I'm sorry, I cannot look at that. Oh, that's so I can't look at. I gotta close the chat. They cutting up over there, but it's when people try to overly do it. For me, that's a red flag, because I'm like, what you hiding? Like, what aren't you doing? You're trying to presume so much over here. Where's the work that you're doing? Let's see that. Let's see that.
Yeah, it's kind of like an overcompensation.
Yeah,
right? I've seen that before, where it's like, you ain't got to try this hard. Like we really here eating snacks together. Like this is real low stakes. Like, go over there and get a little bit of a wine, bring it down a little bit. But sometimes I think people, it's so interesting being in this online space too, Sunnie. And I wonder if that happens to you. Sometimes I think people see you. I seen someone at the airport once and they were like, I've seen you on Facebook and video. And it's kind of like this fan thing. It's kind of weird. It's like, damn, I'm just trying to get to my flight like you. Like, let's be human. it's a little weird, right? So I think it's also we spend so much time online. When people do see humans, they could be extremely awkward. But I'll have to start doing math with that. Like, is the awkward ones the ones that not doing the work? Because you might be on to something right there. You might be on to it.
And also being young, because obviously being young for me, red flags when someone looks down on me because of my age and I look young. I
Mm,
won't. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then in the end, be really needing not my services, and I'd be like,
exactly.
it's your own hand. Can't do it. Can't do it.
That's shady business. I think that we live in a world where people are doing amazing things at all ages, and I love that. Like, I think at least when I was growing up, it was very much like elders did this and kids did this, but now you got kids out here making more money than mama and daddy, right? Like TikTok businesses and securing contracts here and doing influencing here, or starting. I've seen a group of guys in Long Beach. I don't know if you've seen them on TikTok. They have like a sandwich brand. They call it Jizzy, I think, or something like that. So they make these, like the hot dogs that you can get after a game or something with the onions and all that. They have that set up, and they started it as a summer job because their parents was like, yo, we are not investing in, I think they wanted a PlayStation, something that they wanted. We're not doing it. They started it, and now it's a business. And literally they cook the whole time on TikTok. So people over there, you watching it, your stomach start growling, you gonna go up the street. And you gonna get it. They built a relationship with the Shell gas station. So they on the side, they got branding and everything. So I'm just saying, like, we can't look down on the youth, y'all. If you over here looking down on youth, number one, get off the channel. But number two, I agree, that is a red flag because the young people, they have an innate knowledge that I think a lot of us don't have because their ancestors that just came back, right? Like that's all they are.
with more wisdom sometimes than we think. So I agree.
Exactly. Definitely. Well, let's look at some of these questions so we can let you get back to your contracts because I know wifey probably ain't playing. Like, Sunny, we got things to submit. I'm gonna try to get up to the top and see what we have as we start. So let's see. Okay, people are asking, are you in PG County?
I am in Anne Arundel County, but born and raised in raised in PG. So PG to the day I die, for sure.
Okay, definitely PG to the day that he dies. Let's see. Someone also mentioned this Bid Prime. Have you ever used Bid Prime?
I haven't used Bid Prime.
Okay, that might be a cool resource to look at.
I am. Let me write that down. Y'all teaching me over here.
I know. I said, "Oh, that might sound good, 600 a year." But shoot, if it got some good stuff on it, why not try it out? That might be a new one. Okay, we got how. Hopefully, you answered that. How I think we're talking about the money being already allocated. Okay, cool. Let me go down. I'm going through, y'all. Don't worry. Okay, here it goes. How do you keep with the contracts that you apply for, and do you have a limit? Keep up with the contracts? Yeah, that's a good question.
That is a good question. All right, Sunny is a organized person. What is it? I'm not type A or B. I think I'm type C. But honestly, when I bid on contracts, my Google Drive is really where everything lies. I have folders that will say submitted, won, or no good. Then when I send the email out to the procurement officer for the contracts I bid on, I star them. So if I don't hear back from them in a week or two, I go back to my star, send a follow-up message. So those emails kind of stay at the top of my email thread.
Oh, okay. So you're just kind of like using your Google email, right, to kind of star them and make sure that you keep them up. Have you considered using like a CRM or anything, or AI or anything for that?
I haven't, and that's actually really crazy because I am a tech person. But I don't know. I just like to do it the old school way. It works for me. And I know as my team grows, someone's going to come in and say, we're changing this. But right now, it's working.
Okay, definitely. We got a CRM dropping, so I'm going to send you the info. It might be something that interests you. You never know.
All right, send it over.
Okay, cool. Where can I find previous contracts for review?
So usually you have to ask the procurement officer if you could see if you don't win a contract. I usually say, hey, could you let me know why I didn't win? And can I see the technical of the company that won or the incumbent that was on the project the following year?
Okay. And they don't have no problem with you asking that question. Usually they're pretty good
Mhm.
with that.
Yeah, some will say, yeah, here you go. And some will be like, no. So it just depends. I would also say if you partner with other companies, usually you can ask them to see, an old technical that they've written, or help you create your own blueprints.
Yeah. I think asking is always good, y'all. I'm actually in the process through this like job that I might be going to work at next year. And I was, talking to chat, my chat about it. I call him Demetrius, my chat GPT. His name is Demetrius. Gave him a real black man name. He got a black man voice, it feels good. It feels good. He be calling me boo now. I be like, don't be flirting with me, boo.
AI is
But
crazy.
AI is wild. But anyways, I was asking him, how can I make sure that I do well on the interview? Because the final interview is coming up. And he was like, ask who's going to be on the panel so that you can prepare a little bit more and you know more about them. In the past, I would have been afraid to do something like that. Like, I don't know if they're going to feel weird about it. But the person was hella excited. She was like, yeah, sure. That actually will help you. And here are the people that are going to be on there. And I've been able to research them. So I think if you ask the question that might feel uncomfortable, the worst thing you can get, y'all, is a no,
Is
right?
it
And a
now?
no is not a disqualification. It's just a no. Like, just move on. Okay, cool. Another question. I have so many. Do you we send a trend throughout the year? Like, I've heard more grants go out in the first month of the year.
I think we talked about it a little bit. It depends on the industry.
Mhm.
Um, so depending what your industry is, you kind of have to gauge on when majority of those contracts come out. Like I was saying, for me in IT, I see a lot of contracts coming out in the summertime, IT focus. So starting in March, I know that's not summer, so starting early spring, all the way down to like August. Like right now, it's really dry when it comes to IT work. There's still some here and there, but the bulk of them is in the hotter months.
Okay, so you'll kind of have to see with your industry what the flow is as you get to it. But y'all remember, you got to get um, those numbers right in order to be able to apply. So I would apply for that as soon as possible because that might take you a month, right? And then we got the holidays coming up, so at least you're ready end of year, top of the year to go after some contracts. Are you recycling proposals, or is it definitely a proposal per contract? I guess a different
Uh,
one.
yeah, I recycle proposals, meaning technicals. Yes. So I have a blueprint. All of my technicals and proposals are written the same way. I just filter in based on the specifics of the contract.
Okay. Are you using AI for any of that, or is that like looked down upon in this process?
Um, I don't use AI only because um, I created my blueprint before AI was created. But when I have those contracts that are kind of bigger or expect a little bit more, yeah, I totally use AI for sure.
Okay.
For
Okay.
sure.
Good to know. Good to know. Because I'm like, some of that stuff we probably need it, even if it just scans it for you and gives you more information about what you can pull out to put into your template and make
Yep.
that process easier. Okay, cool. Can you speak a little bit more about strategic partnerships?
Yeah. So partnerships are always good. Of course, you go to networking events, you'll be surprised how many people are already on SAM, already doing this. How many are on SAM, but just don't want to go look for the contract and will partner with you if you go do the work of finding the contracts. It's important because a lot of these contracts out here will have multiple things that need to be completed, right? So for me, for example, there could be a contract out where they need web development, which is cool. My business can handle that. And before I opened this new pillar, um, it might say we need web development, but we also need networking and we need to put up 3 access points. Now I have to go find another company to do the scope that I can't provide. We can provide the website, we could provide the hosting, we could provide the help desk. When it came to networking and access points, got to go get it from someone else, right? So finding companies that essentially are kind of in the same industry as you, but do different things because they can come and call on you and vice versa.
Okay.
And sometimes you both can submit the bid, and it gives you a higher chance of winning.
Ooh, I like that idea. We both submit the application. We put each other on it. Whoever wins, we gonna secure the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sunnie, you need to teach a networking class. Add that to the tiers. Professional development with Sunnie as well, because that was somewhere I was like, yes, like let's go, because it's just all about opportunity. If we got 2 chances, that's better than one, in my opinion, right?
Yep. And sometimes you just be bidding against each other, so it's like best of the fifth.
Let's go for it, definitely. So Shauna was asking about the application. I think that you were just talking about, is the blueprint based off of the application? So I guess that's what you've put together. Is that
Yeah.
what? Okay. Okay, definitely. All right, y'all. I think I made it through all the questions, but if you have something additional, just throw it in there. We're gonna wrap up though. What I'm seeing, Sunnie, based off of like the engagement and the questions, is we gotta have you come back. We gotta have you come back. So one of the things, Sunnie, that I'm planning on doing in 2026, once I recover, I told you I'm having a surgery, but once I recover, I want to go on a podcast tour where I do these things in person, because I think it'd be dope for us to like sit down, even if we meet at the driving range for a little bit, talk a little bit, what I'm saying, have a real conversation. So I will put you on the list because you're in one of my favorite places to travel. And
Please
then we
do.
can really, break some bread and get into maybe even a 2.0 of this conversation, right? Because this is really, I think, for beginners, but for the folks who are already securing contracts or running businesses, I know there's other levels that we could take this and talk about this.
Yeah, I'm excited for sure. Let me know, and I'm there.
Okay, bet. Well, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming through. I know we didn't get to talk about the app, but I want you to just share a little bit about the app that you've built and anything you want people to know as far as getting involved with it.
Okay, yeah. So I'm in the process of building a social media app. We are looking to launch March 2026. I will be sending you a launch party invite in the next couple months.
Yes.
But the gist of the app is Twitch meets TikTok. And one of our slogans is your life, their choice, or stories that unfold by, and I won't say the last word just yet because it'll tell you what the app is. We're very excited about it. I am literally the one doing all the coding. So I'm looking for a software engineer. So if you all know any that full stack software engineer, preferably iOS based, send them my way. I'm looking to hire that. But I'm excited for it. Beta is starting November. So if you're interested in being in the beta of the app, on my Instagrams at Sunnie Delight, I'll post sometimes periodically, and I probably will be posting next week the link to sign up for beta. Right now we have about 1,500 people in our beta list who wants to be a part of beta. So beta's opening from November to February, and the app will be launching in March.
Okay, that's what's up. Congrats, fam. That's a big deal. So definitely I want to be at the party. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm on that list. If I'm not, put me on there or send me the link and tell me what to do. Because I'll just sign up for it and be ready to go. But I'm excited that you're creating more social media possibilities. I know I was on a call with a client today who's like totally, stepping away from Meta and Meta products. And it was funny because we were on a tech call and they realized that WhatsApp is owned by Meta as well. And they were like really mad because they do like a lot of international business. And they're like, I don't know if I could let go of WhatsApp. I was like, it's a monopoly at this point. Like you probably can't take your hand fully out of the pocket of Meta, but you could at least separate with the social media. So he's looking on going like Blue Sky and different ones, but I'll be sure to tell him about your social media platform as well. Because I think people are looking for that pivot and another place where they can create and actually connect. Like so much of these platforms don't really feel connecting anymore. It feels isolating. And I think people really need it. So I'm excited you're building it.
Yeah, come over here to where we are. I'll be launching and saying all the names and everything in the next month or so, of course, before November. So it's coming. It's coming.
Okay, definitely. Well, congratulations, fam. Thank you so much for being here, y'all. Thank y'all for using y'all most valuable resource with us, right? Like y'all showed up, y'all stayed to the end. You're using your time, right? We can't get time back. We can all make more money, but we definitely can't get time back. So I just want y'all to know we appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube and you have not subscribed, I would suggest that you do, because the next dope conversation that we have, you will miss it because you won't know this coming up. So go on and subscribe. Make sure that you go and follow Sunnie's work. If you're watching this in the future, you will see his information in the description. But I hope y'all have a good night. And until next time, peace.
Thank y'all.